Did you notice that James Stewart started a podcast?
Yes, I did. I haven't heard it yet. I'm
okay.
saving it.
I listened to it last night. Actually,
What do you mean it's okay?
It's okay. I think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get better, dude. And I was thinking about it while I was listening to it. So if you go back and listen to the first or watch the first of anything, it'll grow, it'll adapt. So obviously James is quite late to this podcast space as well in a way, and he does explain a little bit about why they're doing it, which I don't quite understand, to be honest with you. I don't know why he's doing it.
What did he say then?
Basically that he just felt like they had to, like, just because everyone else is doing one. I think that was pretty much his rationality behind it, was everyone else is doing one and it'll be good for his brand, Seven. You know, they've obviously put a bit of an investment into it, like the studio is pretty nice and this, that and the other. But the first episode is very much, there's nothing really in it. It's, you know, I want to hear some shit from James about what it was like being James Stewart when it was at the peak of his career. Like, that's what I want to hear.
Things, you can't just bang it all out in the first episode.
No, exactly. So I think it's going to be I think it's going to pick up some steam. I think hopefully get some guests on where they can like go back and forth about some of those times.
Some insight. Hopefully get Reedy on.
Yeah, exactly. But there's like no insights in the first one. It's a bit just, setting the stage, I guess, for what they're going to be doing. But don't really know what they're going to be doing. You know, it's one of them. Is that all?
We felt we had, everyone else is doing it, so we thought we had to. It doesn't seem like a good reason.
I was thinking about it again, like while I was driving back from picking Emma up, and I'm like, is this sustainable? Will it carry on? It's James Stewart. Does he need to do it? Probably not. Like, is it gonna be one of those things where he goes, oh, this is whatever. Like, you know, I don't need to do it. It might last 6 months. You know, I think time will tell. There's a lot of moto podcasts out there as well, man, and I think a lot of people will be looking at that and going like, right, you've got Main Event, Racer X, Gypsy Tales, and obviously it carries weight to it because it's James Stewart, but at the end of the day, if the content's not that good, it's still not that good no matter who's doing it. Some people are good at podcasts. I don't know if James Stewart is that guy. You know, traditionally he's been like a quiet person, hasn't he? You know, he's never really been, especially since leaving the sport, he's just kept himself to himself.
But Mookie, I think, is funny as fuck, isn't he?
Yeah, true.
Like, Malcolm comes across as more funny than James, I feel like.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. My review so far of the James Stewart podcast is, like anything, the first episode's usually a bit all over the place and it's not really got an identity yet. Like, where does James Stewart sit in that podcast space? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, being a former one of the best riders ever, he's got a really unique position.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But is he... We don't know. No one knows. Like, is he good at talking about it? Like, some of the breakdowns he was doing of the racing a few years ago were really interesting. Like, they were really cool. I enjoyed
those.
Yeah.
It seems to me like he's a little bit, not lost, but like he doesn't, like you say, he doesn't need to do anything. So he does these breakdowns for like 5 minutes, like, give them a quick go. Yeah. He wasn't consistent with those, so... Yeah.
And that's the thing with the podcast space, dude. Like, a lot of people come into it and realise that it's not easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's and you know, there's hundreds, well, there's probably millions of these things that come and go quite quickly. And I hope that James doesn't do that to this, because it's cool to have him back in the sport, but at the same time, like, is it sustainable? Will he keep it up? You know, will he enjoy it? Like, who knows?
He's got some insight. Yeah. He's got some fucking wild insight when you think about what his life has been like up to this point, and then even just like how crazy he was when he was at the top of his game. It was I'd love to hear some of the stories.
I think it should be good. Did you ever watch the
TV
TV show Bubba's World? That was pretty cool. That was good. It was good insight. That was
cool, wasn't it?
I mean, it was a little bit sort of set up like towards classic. The end of it.
Yeah,
it was a bit MTV, like wasn't it?
MTV, yeah.
But we'll see. I'm excited.
Hey, on that note, you saying there's loads of like moto podcasts and